number 5 is the Penn State Nittany Lions. They don't really have the depth of other schools on this list. In fact, Dalton, if you had to ask me right now what's the biggest question mark with the Nittany Lions going next year, I actually might say defensive line depth. The reason why they're here at number 5, though, they have 2 superstars in Zane Durant and Dani Dennis-Sutton, the latter being a first-round pick in our way too early 2026 mock draft. Zane Durant, my number 2 D tackle in college football. He led all D tackles in the nation last year with 14 tackles for loss or no gain. And he also had 28 pressures, among the 25 most at D tackle in college football last year as well. Dani Dennis-Sutton, like I said before, could be the 3rd straight Penn State edge rusher to go in the first round of a draft, joining the likes of Abdul Carter, obviously, this past year, and Chop Robinson the year before. Since 2023, he has the 2nd most pressures among returning Power 4 edge rushers with 75 pressures, and the 2nd most valuable edge rusher returning in the Power 4 over the last 2 years, according to our wins above average metric, my number 9 edge rusher in the country. That's really it for the proven players on Penn State's defensive line, but I do want to say keep an eye on redshirt senior Alonzo Ford Jr. at D tackle. He had a 77.2 run defense grade last year at D tackle. That was 10th among Big Ten interior defenders with at least 175 snaps. So, yeah, the depth of Penn State isn't great, but they do have 2 stars in Zane Durant and Dani Dennis-Sutton.
Absolutely. If I'm reading this right, I think those are the only 2 defensive linemen they have coming back that played at least 200 snaps last year. So that's really the question. You do have 2 spectacular players in Dennis-Sutton and Durant, and they're going to be able to rush the passer. And I think the question is going to be, is Jim Knowles going to need to blitz more than he did at Ohio State last year? He was very comfortable, as he should have been, with Ohio State's 4-man rush last year. But is he going to be that comfortable with Penn State this year? If you're only going to have 2 legitimate pass rushers, if that's the case, then are you going to have to blitz more? Are you going to have to get creative? And we know he can get creative. It's just a matter of, I think he does prefer to only send 4. Does he have 4 guys, or I should say really 2 other guys beyond those 2 that he feels that comfortable with? It's going to be something to watch up front because you mentioned it. Talent, especially at the top end, they certainly have it, but that lack of depth and what we're used to seeing the last 2 or 3 years from Penn State could be a bit of an issue against the better teams on the schedule.
It's definitely an argument for them to be a little lower on this list, but I just love the 2 stars they have.
For sure.
In Zane Durant and Dani Dennis-Sutton. That's why they're a little bit higher on this list. But, the depth is definitely a big question mark for Penn State going into next year outside of those 2 players. Hey, thanks for watching another episode of the PFF College Football Show. Please make sure you guys subscribe to the channel.
Also, subscribe to PFF Plus at subscribe.pff.com for all of the same data and grades that we use in our show, plus fantasy tools, betting tools, and our mock draft simulator.